You got Porzingis, you got Holiday, you got Derek White. You got literally, I would say what? 5 guys can get you 20 points in a game?
I know people will say it's, only one guy. I don't believe that, Coach, that, one guy, those days are over, in my opinion. Like, a Bill Russell, a Wilt Chamberlain.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
You're going a little deep bomb hunting here. We don't care that we have the one heavy favorite with Rory, a couple other guys like Fleetwood and Tagala, etc. You're going to go a little deeper down the board.
This course, I think, is going to play a little bit more to the wedges. They have, what they did is they've renovated it to basically block off some of the bombing alleys for these guys. They've narrowed the fairways.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Garrett Cole is getting ready to come back, too. I guess look, they've played great without him, but you're not going to say to Garrett Cole, look, don't come back. I mean, it's a ridiculous conversation to have.
They're not going to take any unnecessary chances. And look, they're at the point where they have a lead. They certainly are going to make the playoffs, I would say, barring some sort of complete collapse. And that's all it takes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
8 playoff games at home for Boston in Beantown. They are 6-2 straight up.
The wild card, I would say, in this game is not necessarily, well, what are we going to get out of Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Brown, and certainly Tatum. It is Kristaps Porzingis to me, because we're not getting back a player that's like, hey, rotational guy. Like, remember when Derek Lively went down with an injury? He was playing well, but a young player, like a piece.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
It's Pharrell on the bench in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad seed of Brooklyn, a bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh, people dressed in plastic bags to break from traffic, some kind of fashion shake. And then, of course, in Monmouth County, New Jersey, down by the Stone Pony, it's the one and only Coach James Young, along with Foster's Lager, and Sammy Cheers, Malone Yarnell, and Preston Pacer, Matty Jordabola, carry with us, is batting above the rim on a Sunday fun day, brought to you by BetMGM. They're going to tip a WNBA game at the Barclays. No sleep till. It's the Dream against the Liberty. I was seeing upwards of 14.5, 15.5, it's even moved to in some hizzies. 167.5, I'm seeing at some hizzies. 165.5 right there on the board. Coach, take it away. We'll start with that one, and then you can get into the Lynx Sky in Chicago at 3, Fever Mercury at 3 in Phoenix. Diana against Caitlin. That's what that's about.
Good afternoon, everybody. First game, obviously, with the Liberty playing the Dream, tipping off any second here. I'm going to go with the Liberty team total over 91.5 points. This is a team that scores and scores in bunches. They've gone over this in 4 of the last 5 games, 5 of the last 7 games. 96-point outburst versus the Atlanta Dream a week ago today in Hotlanta, a game in which they were up by 30-some-odd points and literally played the scrubs the last 8-9 minutes of the game. So that's that. And then also, Double J, Jonquel Jones over 1.5 made threes. When she plays bad teams, she gets a shot attempt, she'll get it up. Jonquel Jones over 1.5 made threes.
All right, so let's take a look at that right now. Liberty team total over, Jones over 1.5 threes. Copper over 22 and a hook. Collier over 21 and a hook. I mean, just while we're at it, who do you like in that? So Minnesota's laying 6.5 on the road in Chicago, 162 and a hook. Obviously, the Lynx have been one of the best teams in the W, and the Sky have had their difficulties, let's just say. Who do you like in that one?
I actually like Minnesota to go ahead and cover this game in the spread. Listen, they had a great win versus New York. Was the last game they've played, and I think they get the job done today. So I'll go Minnesota Lynx over. Minus the points, and then I'll go Nafisha Collar over 22.5 points. As Nafisha Collar scores about 22.5 points per game going against Angel Reese Cardo. So those girls are going to struggle to stop her. One of the best inside-out players in the W, Nafisha Collar, over 22.5 points.
I'm not even questioning this girl Reese. She can double on anybody. So she's gonna give it back to them in some kind of fashion today.
Oh yes, yes. She's gonna give it back to her, and that double is something that you could run to. The problem is, Pharrell, is that there's no real value at this point. You're finding something, minus 200, minus 250. You might as well go over her points if you go anything with Angel Reese. She's starting to finish the ball better around the basket. So if you want to do anything with Angel Reese, I would go over 14.5 points.
All right, Fever and Mercury as well at 3. And this one's on ESPN as well. That first game, the 1 o'clock game that's starting now, is on ESPN. And so is the 3 o'clock Fever Mercury. Caitlin Clark against Taurasi. Taurasi seems to have a hair in her tuchus for Clark, likes to mock her and act like she doesn't matter at all, and it's going to be fun and everything else. You just saw that board. I don't know what numbers you're seeing. I'm seeing 8.5 and 174.5, at least from my end. It may be different with what we just put up. What do you like in this one? That's the featured attraction today.
Yeah, it's a feature attraction because a lot of stuff that Diana Taurasi said about Caitlin Clark. But I've also seen a lot of complimentary things that she said about Caitlin Clark to start off. By the way, JJ just missed her first 3-point attempt, so at least she's firing early. But in that game, I do like the Phoenix Mercury at home. I think they're going to have a lot of problems, particularly guarding inside with someone like Brittany Griner. I'm going to stay away from the double-double market for Leah Boston. I don't know if that's going to work out guarding against someone like a Brittany Griner. But I do like Kalia Copper to go over her points prop tonight. I think she will get going early and often. Very poor team defensively in Phoenix. As regards to looking at what I expect out of someone like Caitlin Clark, I would probably look at rebounds plus assists. She'll impact the game in different ways. Maybe not score a ton, though, today.
Yeah, but it's her numbers have been phenomenal. I mean, she produces in some capacity every night. If she's not scoring, she's ripping and she's diming. She always does something. That's what I think makes her special. She may not have a big night scoring here and there with the, pros she's up against, even though she's a rookie and she's a pro too. I'm saying she used to come into a game in college and just score from the jump. And that's not the way it rolls now for her. We don't know what we're going to see from her, but she has games where she'll drop 16 or whatever and have a bunch of dimes. Isn't it amazing to you how she always does something?
No, it is amazing how she always does something. And to me, that's why I think you look at rebounds or rebounds plus assists, because no matter how she scores, she's going to get – think about this. Just in the last, 6-7 games, 13, 19, 11, 18, 17, 10. Throw away the Connecticut Sun game in the Commissioner's Cup, 14. She's always going to get you somewhere in that 12, 13, 14 rebounds plus assist market. So I think that's where you can look at Caitlin Clark being consistent, that even if you try to take away her shot for her, she's still going to do, like you said, impact the game in other ways. So when you look at that rebounds plus assist market, I think, or rebounds just in general, I think that's where you can get her getting going today.
All right, so, Coach, I wanted to say we're going to talk about the college futures on this show today, talk about NCAA, who we like. We've discussed this previously. If you missed it, it'll be cool to get a refresher course there on who we like in College Rack. Also, Coach wants to talk about the Olympics in Paris and the great basketball that's going to be going on there. And that's late July. I think it starts July 26th in Paris. And it's going to be fun to watch the U.S. team. There's so many great teams. But the men's roster, as it stands now, there you have it. Adebayo, D-Book, Curry, Davis, KD, Ant, JoJo, Halliburton, Drew Holiday, King James, Kawhi, and the champ Tatum. So there's the U.S. team headed to Paris. We'll also talk about on today's show the free agency and 25 futures for 2025. Obviously, free agency starts tonight at 6. There's a lot of movement. And, Coach, what was your thoughts on Bickerstaff getting the Pistons job overnight? I mean, he's not the worst coach I've ever seen. He got a winning record in Cleveland, and they screwed him. Bottom line.
No, I don't know. Listen, you can say he screwed him. I just think he was slow to adjust. But in the regular season, developing young talent, you have to give JB that. So he should be able. Listen, he can't do any worse than Monty Williams did because he was terrible. He can't be any worse than Dwayne Casey. He was terrible. So listen, they couldn't really give a big name coach that kind of money because you're paying $65 million out to Monty still. And who's going to want to go there after you fire the coach after 1 year? Probably for what you can get. JB Bickerstaff's probably the best of the bunch.
You know, fill the leak with Bickerstaff. I'll say this. I thought that deal for Monty Williams was insane. And I think this is fair enough. Like the guy went like 170, 151 or something with the Cavs. Look, in the NBA today, if you watch a guy over 5 years, they'll be lucky if they go 500. This guy won more than he lost. That's all there is to it.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss hit it.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes, obviously, after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire, Pat Hoberg.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Well, we have to get a lot in today on betting above the 10 because obviously we're brought to you by BetMGM because this is the God, you've always been there for me, Coach, since the beginning. Oh, God, you've always had my back. I can always count on you. Oh, God, it's the last show.
Don't do this, man. I'm going to get me emotional.
It's the last round. We gotta get it all in today, Coach, because it's the last show, and you've never let me down ever once. You've been there for me, taught me everything. The coach is giving me the tips I need in the footwork. Oh God, it's the last show. We gotta cram it all in like a hoagie. When they stop talking basketball and talk tennis, it's the end of the world. Oh no. I don't know how you feel, Coach, but I can barely get through it. Oh, God. I'm going to have to take off my glasses. I don't know how we're going to do it without basketball. I can't believe we're not doing Summer League in the Olympics. Whose bright idea was that? Oh, backstabbers. All of them. I need to see quitters. Go ahead and watch tennis. They're stupid grass courts. All right, Coach. I'm all right.
Wasn't that good?
Breathe. Foster's Lager told me it was going to happen. He was right. Anyway, I just want to say on this final show, we got to get it all in. So let's look at the college futures for the NCAA, because I'm just going to say this again. I'm taking Duke. I hate them dead as much as the Celtics. Those are the two teams I hate more than any teams on earth in basketball. But I have to admit that I believe in Cooper Flagg that much that I think he's going to carry them to the Final Four and to a national championship, literally in his one and done. And I think Shire's a really good coach. I think he's only going to get better. And everything they got around that kid makes them very dangerous to me. And I don't dispute your snags here. I know you're going to throw some teams out there like Alabama. There's a lot of really good teams. I just think this kid is, he's going to go for it. He's got one shot at it, and then he's going to be the number one pick in the NBA draft. So he got one shot, and I'm not doubting this kid in the least. He is the best prospect college basketball player, bar none, in the country. That's it. That's all there is to it. He's better than Dylan Harper. He's better than Ace Bailey. He's better than everybody, and you know it.
Oh, I'm not disputing that at all. I'm not disputing it at all that Duke should be in a conversation to win a national championship. They should absolutely be up there. Guys, if you could put back up, the lines there, the odds to win a national championship. Yeah, absolutely. Duke should be in the conversation. But I'm still going to think about Alabama for what they have coming back. And then the fact that their biggest issue was on the defensive end of the floor, and they brought in Cliff Amore to kind of shore up the defense there at the middle, then allow Grant Nelson to slide over to the 4 spot. So to me, you still got to look at a team like that to have a chance to win a national championship. So I still like them in that spot. I was Alabama at 12-1, and I'm looking at Baylor at 20-1. A Baylor Bears team that brought, obviously gets Jeremy Roach to transfer over. They go ahead and they get another big name transfer. Scott Drew kind of has figured it out a little bit. So I do think Baylor is someone at 20-1 to think about. And the other team, and no one, it's not on here, and I don't know why, it's really deep, is TJ Asselberger at Iowa State at 30-1. They have 4 of their 5 starters coming back. And they're 30-1. And the way they can defend and lock people up, they may not win it, but at 30-1, Iowa State is a very big value option here to win a national championship.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that they're loaded and that they're really good. And there's one thing I'll say is that history is against them. They just never get it done, ever, in the history of the program, in the history of the school. That's just all there is to it. Now, what about a couple of questions? What about Kalkbrenner being back? I know they lost, Shireman, right? and then
Alexander.
But they
For
got
Alexander
got the monster back, and that's all that matters. That's like looking at Purdue with Edey, having Kalkbrenner, what he does on the floor. And then what's your thoughts on Hurley, who stayed at Stores to go for a three-peat? Do they have another phenomenal, loaded, one-and-done championship-type team?
Well, you're never going to count out Dan Hurley. Obviously, you look at the fact that Alex Caravan comes back. You have to look at Diarra is going to have extended time. You look at Johnson. Don't sleep on a kid named Liam McNeely, I do believe his name is. Some people have already projected.
Backstabber.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he actually wanted to win basketball games, so he didn't want to go play for your boy Woody.
Is there anything worse than a kid that commits and then backs out? That's like blowing off your prom date, loser. I hope it's Jay's broke ass. I hope he gets pneumonia. Honestly.
Hey, listen. At the end of the day, IU picking up Miles Rice and picking up obviously Omar Ballo. I mean, they should be significantly better as well. So maybe Woody's got it right this year. I mean, they are 50-1. I'll say this much, Pharrell. If they don't win it this year, if they don't make a run this year, your boy Woody could be gonzo.
Yeah, like hearing about Indiana being good every year of my entire life, and then they're not, is like listening to people tell me the Miami Kings are going to be great every year in football, and then they suck again.
They're going to be great.
That's all I ever hear. I don't even want to hear it. I'm sick of it. I love the U more than you do. You don't know anything about the U.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. He was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't hit it.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes, obviously, after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire, Pat Hoberg.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
It's betting above the rack. Brought to you by BetMGM. Coach, on the women's side, looking at futures, I have to always put Dawn Staley in South Carolina in the mix. Paige Becker's at UConn with Gino. That's automatic. But the ones that I'm going to go rogue on for you are USC and UCLA. I love Juju with the Lady Trojans, and I love the Kid Rice for UCLA in the powder blue. So I'm going to go rogue with the two Los Angeles schools, making it to the Final Four, and then Obviously, I think Beckers is going to win a national championship. I think they're going to win it. I think UConn's going to win it. I think they're going to beat USC in the national championship game. And it's not Dawn Staley every single day. There's nothing I hate worse than, the same team every year wins it all or is in the championship, never loses a game. I want to see some girls get competitive and try to beat their ass. Let's get physical and beat them. Simple as that.
Well, listen, first things first, South Carolina, returning a majority, I know Cardozo leads, but the majority of the rest of the team really is the reason why they are the odds-on favorite to win the national championship. Right now, South Carolina is plus 150. Second, you're right, Pharrell, it's UConn. UConn at 4-1. Obviously, they get, obviously, Paige Beckers coming back for her last year. You got to remember, folks, they lost some players, obviously, with the transfer, but one name to know right off the bat, Sarah Strong, the number one player in the country, committed to UConn and is going in. Caroline Duchesne, who is out for the majority of the year last year, she's back. AZ Fudd, who you could argue was the second best player for UConn, she got hurt last year. She's back. Aubrey Griffin, she's been there for like 15 years. She's back. She missed a ton of time. So UConn, who had a skeleton crew down the stretch, yes, they lose Aaliyah Edwards, but they're still going to be in the mix, obviously, at 4-1. Next, USC, Juju Watkins. Oh, my God. Girl is an absolute baller. But they also went into the portal, and they got the best player out of the portal to come out. And remember, they also have Dominic Dawes coming back. They got the transfer. I forget her name. Kiki Arafat, the transfer out of Stanford, who was a monster last year at 6'3" as a grad student with Juju. That 4-5 combination, Pharrell, ain't nobody can check him. But a couple of teams to look at. You mentioned UCLA and the phenomenal lefty Kiki Rice out of the East Coast. Folks, don't sleep on Notre Dame.
Yeah, they're good.
We watched it last year. Hannah Hidalgo. And listen, folks, they have a guard that you need to remember who missed all of last year named Olivia Miles. They're going to play a 2-point guard backcourt with Miles and Hidalgo. And you could argue that the Fighting Irish, ready, folks, will have the 2 best point guards in the country in the same backcourt. They still have Sonia Citron, who came out of New York State. They still have her going in. Latu King is a transfer. They're going to be something. Now, I'm going to be the guy that's going to give you a team way down the board that I can't even find their odds to win a national championship. You may not like them there, but you may want to wait till they start hanging odds for the league. Folks, no one's talking about TCU. And I know this team really, really well. And I know the coaching staff very, very well. The key thing they have off the bat is they got Haley Van Lith to transfer. Do not look at Haley Van Lith last year and the way she was used at LSU, which is put baby in the corner and stand there. She is excelled in the pick and roll game. They're going to use her very similar to the way they used Sabrina Ionescu when she was at Oregon. She's going to be dynamic. Maddie Shard, the transfer out of Kentucky. And now obviously they got Sedona Prince, who got an extra year off a medical redshirt. She's back. That team, TCU, was top 25 in the country before all the injuries last year. They will be a top 25, top 20 team in the country. They will make a serious run in March. I'm calling it first.
Oh, is that Haley Van Lith? But she was a better player at Louisville than she was at LSU.
Oh, absolutely. And they're going to use her in that style, which is high pick and roll with Sedona Prince, and then you'll space the floor with Maddie Short. They're going to be really, really good for Elle.
Yeah, I thought she looked lost on that LSU team, to be honest. And I remember her being a kind of a savage with the Cardinals. So I think she just needs to get back to being that kind of baller, and I think she'll explode with them. That is true. It's going to be a very exciting team down in Fort Worth. We'll continue and talk about the Olympics on betting at the 10, baby.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss hit it.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes, obviously, after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire, Pat Hoberg.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Betting Above the Rim, brought to you by BetMGM on a Sunday with the great Coach Young. I'm Pharrell in New York City. Coach, the Olympics are right around the corner doing push-ups, and Team USA is, according to everyone around the world, loaded as usual. But you look at the other teams that are going to be there, and you see the Serbs, the French, the Germans, the Spaniards on futures, but obviously, I think France, Koulibaly, they got all kinds of players. Evan Fournier will probably be on that team. Germany has a team that has done very well in the World Championships, right? And then Canada isn't even mentioned on those futures, and they have a loaded team. Which one of these teams do you think the USA stacked team that they have should be worried about? Or is it a lot of them?
Well, it's multiple. I mean, obviously, you look at the U.S. roster here, and to me, number one, I think you have to look at Canada. Folks, the reason why odds aren't out for Canada at BetMGM is they're still trying to finalize the roster here because we don't know what's going on with Andrew Wiggins. Story out is that supposedly Golden State is holding out, doesn't want Wiggins to play for Canada because they're trying to move him. And I guess the concern could be is if he gets hurt, then you can't move him. So that is why you're looking at it. But if Canada has their full roster, with Alexander Walker, with R.J. Barrett, with Dylan Brooks, with Lou Dort, with Zach Edey, with Melvin Ejim, with SGA, right, with Jamal Murray, with Andrew Nemhard, with Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell, and Andrew Wiggins, I think they become the biggest threat to the United States as an overall team. When you look at France, folks, simply put, it's a combination of the experience of a team that always plays together with some of the new guys, right? With Batum, new guy in Koulibaly into the fold. Obviously, Evan Fournier, right? Rudy Gobert has been playing with them for years. Frank Ntilikina. But now you add guys like Wembanyama and Koulibaly to the roster, and you have a team that has NBA guys and has size and Rudy. And folks, I want people to understand, Rudy Gobert in the Olympics is different than Rudy Gobert in the States, right? They actually throw the ball inside to him. They give him post touches. So I think that becomes interesting. Obviously, Germany winning.
Not like the T-Wolves.
No. And definitely not like the Utah Jazz. Definitely not like Utah.
But let me ask you. But let me ask you. So with Wemby on that team, just sans everybody else, can this guy legitimately, with the pieces that they have, keep France in the picture for a gold medal? That they would actually win a gold medal at home with Wembanyama in Paris. That's what I think the world, might want to see. To see that kid carry them to gold would be crazy.
Oh, it'd be unbelievable, and it would be a great story. So I think they're in the mix. Listen, Serbia, with Bogdanovic, right? With the Joker, with Nikola Jovic, right? With Pokachevsky. Like, they got guys there too, Serbia, that's going to be interesting. Listen, it should be the USA's team. They should win it. My concern with the U.S. team is size and ability to rebound, going against guys like Edey, guys like Wemby, guys like Rudy, right? That's my concern with the USA, right, in regards to the defensive end of the floor, right? And then is, can they make enough shots at the perimeter? Because I think they are not the best shooting team.
What about Australia? They're in it. I know Japan, Sudan, they're all in it as well. I'm not worried about them. But what about Australia? They've always shown up.
Yeah, and it's a combination of some of the old school guys, the Patty Millses, what's the lefty, the Joe Engels, right, the Dante Exums. But then you got some of the younger guys, the Johnny Thorpees, the Josh Giddey's, right, Josh Green. So they have other players as well that could step in, that could score. I don't think they have the depth. Matisse Thybulle, I don't even know, is he even in the league, Matisse Thybulle, anymore? I don't even know. Doesn't matter. But to me, that looks like a situation where they could be in the mix as well. It's not a runaway for the USA. If the USA does not shoot the ball well from three, like I said, and rebound the ball, they could find themselves in trouble in some of these games. Teams that have good shooting and experience and guys that, let's be honest, play together a lot.
So when you look at this team, the U.S. is putting over there, and they've won whatever it is. They've been there 19 times, something like that. They've won it 16 times. So they mean business every time. And I know there are some people that think they're, the geriatric team because they are a little older. There's a lot of really, seasoned vets on this team. Seasoned's a nice way of saying old. No problem with the age. No problem with an old team because they're so good, talented, and deep and dangerous and, lethal at the same time, like as a unit. Like, I mean, just even, can you imagine just having to deal with LeBron and AD and Curry and, the likes? I mean, it's just, it's insane who they have on this team on the floor at the same time. Even Embiid, like, are you kidding me? How do you deal with that?
Well, you deal with that with the fact of the matter is that you're worried about can a team get the USA in an up and down game because they're not the most athletic team, right? With a team like Canada, with those guards, with SGA, will they push the pace a little bit, Pharrell? Is something that you have to think about when you are playing against the USA is, can they play a full court game? Do teams try to run them out of the gym? Simply put, if the USA plays the way they're capable of, Pharrell, it's a gold medal. But don't think, folks, this is like, the dream team that's going to go beat teams by 40, 50 points. It's just that international game has left. Let's be honest, Pharrell, the international, they've caught up to us and their skill level. So I think that's something to look at a little bit as well, as the game is catching up, but they still should be the favorites to win the gold.
Coach, if they lose, that would be a gigantic failure and story. I mean, it's going to be a bigger story if they lose than if they win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, they should win. Anytime the USA steps onto a floor to play international basketball, they're expected to win. And when they don't win, it's a monumental upset. And I think that's something that I'm just saying that is, if it happens, I'm not going to be floored. right? I mean, we saw what happened when we went to Athens. That team in '04 with what's his name? Larry Brown didn't play
Yeah.
the young guys. He went with all the veterans. And they got ruled because the game was too fast for him. I mean, Carlos Arroyo was running circles. Carlos Arroyo could barely play in the NBA. Carlos Arroyo in 2004 ran us all around the damn gym. So to me, we don't want to see that happen. Could it happen? Maybe. But we should be the best team there.
There's going to be some money to be made betting on some of these teams like Canada and France and Germany with Schroeder and the Wagner brothers. There's going to be some fat, like payable tickets that you could cash on some of these teams that are badass from around the world that are going to win games. And there's going to be upsets. There's no way this is just going to go according to script and form.
No way. It's going to be chalk. And I think one thing to look at is as we get closer to the Olympics, you got to look at pool play, right? And see, and I'm trying to pull up as we talk, where are teams to get out of the pool? And I think when we come back out, I'll try to get the pools that we're in, and maybe I'll give you a team or two that may be able to get out of their pool. So when the bets come up, you may be able to make a little bit of plus money.
That's what I'm talking about. Coach is stoked for the Olympics. And I'm also, and we're going to keep talking about that and pool play and everything else. And we're going to talk about later, obviously, the summer leagues starting in Cali, then in Salt Lake, then in Vegas over the next several weeks. It's going to be badass.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. He was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss-hit it.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes, obviously, after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire, Pat Hoberg.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Betting Above the Rim brought to you by BetMGM. I'm Pharrell along with Coach Young. So there's still slots to be determined for the Olympics with qualifying going on here in like the next few days.
Yeah, so there still are teams that still have to qualify. There are qualifying tournaments, I do believe, in Latvia, Spain, Greece, and Puerto Rico starting on, I do believe, Tuesday till the 7th. So we don't even know. Each of the three groups, Group A, B, and C, had 3 of the 4 qualifiers in there. We're still waiting on, Group A has 2 more to qualify. Group B has 1 more. Group C has 1 more. So we won't know until the 7th. So I'm sure when it comes out after a week from now, I'll probably be on C to C. At that point, once we know the groups are set, and then from there, I'm sure BetMGM will lie odds to win each group. I'll come back on C to C at that point, and I'll give my plays then.
All right, sweet. Now, I don't know if people know this or not, but there's actually 3-on-3 tournaments in the Olympics. Let's take a look at the men's 3-on-3 roster, and you'd recognize, obviously, Jimmer Fredette's name, Coach. And the other guys, I have no idea who they are.
The other guys you can find on a milk box carton. But, yeah, it's led by –
They might play in the park.
Yeah, they may play in the park. So when you look at it, the 3-on-3 team of the United States is, and this is why it's crazy, guys. On the men's side, the men aren't even the favorites to win the 3-on-3. It's actually Serbia. Serbia's got the better chance of winning because when you look at it, they have the better, roster. We have Jimmer Fredette is the only really big name that we're actually sending over there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Last time they played Serbia in the U.S., they played in the World Cup, I think in 2023. So I do think it's a closer chance. The women's side is going to be interesting as well. We'll talk about that because the women's side had more bigger names. They're just dealing with a whole bunch of injuries on the women's side.
So Haley Van Lith is on that 3-on-3 team, right?
Yeah, Haley Van Lith is on that team. The USA team is plus 180. But Ryan Howard, we don't know what's going to happen with Ryan Howard. She has an ankle injury. She's not playing today. As really amazingly, folks, really quick, the Liberty, who were 15-point favorites, are down by 12 late in the first half. That may be an opportunity. I'll see what the line is at half. We may jump in on the Liberty to win and come back in that game at halftime, kind of similar to what the Aces did a couple of nights ago. I think last night when it came out really, really poor. But the USA team, we'll see what happens. Haley Van Lit's on the team. Dorica Hamby, who's had a fantastic year. They are the favorites at plus 180, and they should probably win the gold in the 3-on-3. Don't even look at, we can pull up the women's Olympic roster, but folks, you think the men are favored, just pull up what the women are favored. It ain't even worth trying to bet that.
Well, let's look at the women's roster for Paris. And this is Stack City. Go ahead, Coach. What do you think?
Asia Wilson, best player in the planet. Alyssa Thomas, one of the best triple-double threats. Brianna Stewart, top 3 player in the world. Brittany Griner, still a 6'8" can play. The point guard is back, Chelsea Gray. Diana Taurasi, in her 48th Olympics, still can get it done. Jackie Young, one of the best two-way players in the W. Jewel Lloyd, offensive juggernaut. Kalia Copper, walking bucket. Kelsey Plum, guarder when she gets into the gym. Nafisa Collier, having a great year. Sabrina Nescu. And folks, I'm not lying to you. I had the odds up. It was minus 1,000. No. It literally just changed to minus 1,400, literally right in front of my screen right now. So that tells you that team, Frill, and here's what people have to understand, right? When you look at international ball on the men's side,
You just made it go from a dime to 14. Just you opened your mouth. All you had to do was say, you talk about the men's team being stacked, and then it popped 4 more bills. Thanks a lot,
4 bills. I'm sorry, folks. So do lay a ton of money for a chance to win $1 or a couple of bucks. But simply put, when you think about international ball, folks, right? If you look at the NBA, you would say the best player in the world, international, right? All right, let's say I give you Embiid as number 2. Okay, he's now U.S. Well, number 3 is Giannis, international. Number 4, SGA, international. Luka Doncic, international. Jamal Murray, top 20, top 25 international. You go to the women's side. Folks. Go ahead. Name me the best international player right now. It's probably Awumake, right? Maybe Awumbawale, who may play for Nigeria. They're not good enough to make the USA team because they've been snubbed. Who's the third best? Maureen Johannes, who played for the Liberty, who didn't even come to the WNBA to focus on the Olympics to be France's best player? Simply put, the margin, like when you think about it, if you guys are old enough, if you remember the 92 Dream Team, when they would beat teams by 40, 50 points, That's what the women's is, Pharrell. Every 4 years. Every 4 years, they beat teams by 30-plus points.
So, all of the rhetoric about Caitlin Clark is irrelevant because they really don't need her. They're going to annihilate everyone.
No, they don't need her. I mean, it would be good. It would be good for ratings here to go ahead and take a look at them maybe making a run with Caitlin Clark. But at the end of the day, folks, pull up that roster again. Who is she playing over? And I say that with all due respect. Who is she playing over this team? Maybe Jewel Lloyd? Jewel Lloyd can get you 25 points a game.
No one.
She's not playing over anyone. The best you could hope for is that Chelsea Gray decides that she can't go. Arike Wubawale pulled herself out as a substitute possibly, and that's the pathway for Caitlin Clark to get in. Otherwise, 2028, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, you can look at Cameron Brink, Paige Beckers. That is when the torch is going to be passed on to that next generation, the 2028 Olympics.
Are they going to be better than the men's team?
I'll tell you right now, they're going to win by a hell of a lot more than the men are. That's
better
for
results.
damn sure.
Better results.
Listen, Pharrell, you don't need to watch the women's team because I don't think there's any chance in hell they lose any game in the Olympics. The men, if they don't shoot well and rebound, they can get picked off.
Oh, we might have an upset brewing here. When we come back, we'll watch Coach dunk.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star breaks, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss hit it.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes obviously after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire Pat Hoberg.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Betting above the rim brought to you by BetMGM. If you ain't playing, then you ain't saying. You either play or you keep your mouth shut. And we got footage today of Pharrell and Coach displaying skills. First, can we show the look at that montage of Pharrell filling it up.
What's that middle one?
10.
Time out. You know what? I'm pulling it for time out. I got 5 left.
Okay.
What is that? Pull that back up. What is Pharrell doing? Is Pharrell chest bumping a teammate? or is
Here we go.
Pharrell
No.
starting a fight?
That's a fight. Let's go back to the picture. There you go. That's a fight. Now that guy's like clearly 275, 280. And I'm sitting there at around 220, 6'4", 220. And you notice he was going to beat my ass, but I'm in his face and bigger than him, and I have old man strength. So I got the arms extended out like, ref, I'm not doing anything. I didn't do this. This guy's got his fist clenched, and he's ready to punch me, and I made him snap like a cookie, and he was ejected. Now look at the, go back to that shot there. Let's look at the form. On the outside range with the teal shirt on underneath the jersey, the one on the upper right corner. There you go, from deep. And notice the brother can't catch up to me with the space, coach. Always looking for space. And then on the bottom right, there I am at the rack going for rebounds like your boy Rodman. And then the one on the left is just the finger roll at the 10, while everyone, as you notice, is down below me underneath my breasts, admiring my George Gervin. Now let's look at Coach throwing down at his ripe age of 47. Here we go.
Well, this is college. I mean, you don't jump.
That was Coach last week at the Y at the JCC. That was last week. That was not college. That was last week. Here we go. Let's see this next display from Coach. Here we go.
This is me when I was coaching at Monmouth. My players
this is this winter. This is this winter. Here we go. He can still do it.
No, for real. I didn't know I had a lost birthday, son. Right. Go ahead.
All right, now, here's Pharrell just working in the gym. Deep. And then you got to show a little repertoire. You got to show a little. And this is after open heart surgery, just a little repertoire, baseline popper. Here's a little repertoire from the elbow. Boom. And then, with the finger roll, the Jimmy kiss. And then you got to work on a little inside game right here.
I like that fadeaway.
Let's go to the other side. Reverse. Let's go deep between the legs. Let's get out of the picture. What do we got here? Deep into the quarter pipe. What is up?
That's wild.
You gotta work in that gym, son. Every day.
Oh, man.
I go work in that gym.
Little. But listen, Pharrell, is it just you and me, or did some of the other guys, did they send in a little footage? I think we had some other footage. Oh, my God.
Wait, is this? Now, who is this? Oh, look at
Matty
George. Matty George. Look at him. Look at Matty George in the hood.
Look at the projects. You're the projects.
He's a runner.
Are those double ribs?
The handle. Matty George. What is happening? All right, what do we got here? Here we go, some more. It's Preston Pacer working on his game. Nice. Finally, some people that can shoot at SportsGrid.
Look at that fadeaway.
Finally. There's a little step back. Look. Nice.
I like that sound.
Nice.
We got ballers.
We got ballers. That's the first I've seen of anyone. Here we go. At Bellworks. Here we go.
This has got to be. This is awesome. Look at that little fadeaway.
Look at Foster.
Step back. Wow. Look at this.
Nice.
I like this.
All right, there you go. Finally, I see someone with some talent at the grid that can shoot. I went to the Super Bowl. I thought I was gonna chip a tooth watching these guys shoot. Honestly, I was I was ducking. There were so many.
Foster wasn't there.
Not Foster's. Well, Foster's locker and I went for a walk, and I almost couldn't find my way back to the hotel. I blame him for that, though.